is my first time using the YouTube live stream feature, and here I am at home on Christmas Eve, and you can see that that point center is really coming along there. It wasn't quite that big when I bought it at Walmart, but there again is my accent wall for those who saw it on Facebook. Uh, but anyway, uh, as I sit here at home on Christmas Eve, uh, I was on Facebook and I was going to do a Facebook Live video about this topic. Uh, and this, by the way, is my favorite seat. My got two love seats, of course. That one, the couch, and this love seat over here. And I love sitting there, having my little tray over there, and I'm looking for that right person to sit in this empty seat. And I've kind of got somebody in mind, but I'm not going to go there right now. But what I will say is this, that a certain Facebook friend and real life friend put something on Facebook that just kind of got the gears turning. Let me turn this around so that you can see my ugly mug over here. And so what this person wrote about on Facebook, a rather short post, said that they were just kind of tired of hearing people say conversate instead of converse. And, let me flip back around here and point out this here before I go any further. So, just in case you ever find me unresponsive, if my day comes, and there's nobody here to save me, and you find me stinking, well, you can always go to this book here to find a lot of what I've thought about, and a lot of this stuff has actually been put in videos. Anyone who's a Facebook friend of mine would know that in a lot of my Facebook Live videos, I'm actually going from notes, not really a script, but notes. And so I think about a lot of stuff, and unfortunately, I deal with a lot of anti-intellectual people who are not deep thinkers, and it frustrates the fuck out of me. But anyway, I got some rather short notes here. And so it shouldn't take me long to get through them. But hey, check this out. So let me flip this back around. And see, I'm letting that Dom DeLuise facial hair come in. But anyway, so the dumb things my people say. Well, this Facebook friend and real life friends put something on Facebook this morning about how people say conversate instead of converse. And it is a black woman, by the way, and she is not a school teacher. But anyway, she's kind of fed up with people who say conversate instead of converse. And I'm sure that she's got some other things that she thinks about in terms of what people say improperly. And but that's one of them. That's the one that that's the one that she put on Facebook and wrote a short post about. And of course, I responded because I too am fed up with people who can't speak properly and who are actually anti-intellectual. I mean, it's one thing to make a grammatical error, even an habitual grammatical error. But it's another thing altogether to actually be against intelligence and to actually knock people for being intelligent, to be anti-intellectual. So what we need is an anti-intellectual effort here. People who come out against anti-intellectualism, because I mean there are some dumbasses out there who actually want to encourage you to be a dumbass and discourage you from being a smartass, and so that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, like I say, this black woman who's fed up with people who improperly say conversate when they should be saying converse uh, is somebody that I've for a long time actually been fond of. I mean, she's cool. But anyway, I decided to go a little bit further. So I went on to say, hey, there's another thing that people frequently say improperly. People often say, the proof's in the pudding. That's not how the expression goes. I mean, if you think about it, it sounds like you're encouraging someone to be another Jack Horner type. You put in your thumb and pulled out the murder weapon and said, "What a good detective am I?" But no, that's not how the expression goes. The expression is the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. So it's not the proof's in the pudding. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting. But anyway, I I also went on to say in my comment, in my response to her post, hey, are you also fed up with people who say progressing instead of progressing? Who say progressing instead of progressing? No. Progress is a noun. Progress is a verb. Conduct is a noun. Conduct is a verb. And for those of you who got lost on that one, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. A verb is an action word. Okay, so progress is something you make. Progress is something you do. Conduct is something you exhibit. Conduct is something you actually do. Okay, but anyway, that whole exchange got me thinking about a now deceased girlfriend, Joyce. So Joyce was born in 1960. She was actually 8.5 years older than me, but she was a petite woman. She was 5'2". She fluctuated between 95 and 105 pounds in the 4 years that we were together before she passed away. I met her in 1990. She passed away in 1994, about a month shy of her 34th birthday. But anyway, Joyce, Joyce and I were visiting an older woman who was actually my boss at the time. I worked at a hospital, and I was a freight handler for Shands Hospital in Gainesville, Florida. We had a small train similar to what they use to load luggage on airplanes, and I drove that, bringing out trash and dirty linen, bringing in new supplies and clean linen. And Shands Hospital in the early 90s was the second biggest building in the country when you measure the floor space, surpassed only by the Pentagon. And they were still building at the time, so they might be bigger than the Pentagon at this point. But anyway, because it's so big, we drove things in and out. And so that was my job. I was a freight handler. My job title was tractor driver. And because we had so few tractor drivers, they actually made us part of the environmental services department. So I had an environmental services / housekeeping supervisor, even though I was a freight handler. but her name was Martha Fortino. I would be surprised if she were still living. She was 2 years older than my dad, who would have been 89 this year. If he were still living,
Hello,
Moto. Okay. Oh man, trying to make. Okay, so I hope it's still going. Is it still going? Um, yeah, it's still going. Okay, so anyway, like I said, this is my first time doing Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube live video. So, if Martha Fortino is still living, she's 91. Uh, but Joyce and I were visiting Martha. We all lived very close, and Martha had asked me to set the alarm clock, I believe, on her stereo. Yes, set the alarm clock on her stereo. And I'm not sure why she didn't just use the alarm clock in the bedroom on that particular occasion. But anyway, she asked me to set it for her, and I did. So moments later, Joyce says to me, "Eric, have you started?" So let me jump back a little bit and say that I'm from New Jersey, and when my when my family moved from New Jersey to Florida, well, it took several months. But when the move was complete, it was early 1985. We started the day after Christmas of '84, and during the move, I had my 16th birthday in February of '85. So after we moved to Florida, some of my siblings began to use improper English uh, after having been influenced by the Floridians. And so my mom actually began to say, you can't speak proper English anymore. You know, it's like you spoke so well in New Jersey, and now that we're in Florida, you can't speak proper English anymore. So, and she would often say, your English is atrocious. And so I borrowed that from her when speaking to Joyce. Whenever Joyce would use improper English, I would say, your English is atrocious. And so, anyway, I was just kind of mocking what my mom had begun to say when we moved to Florida. Joyce wouldn't know that, but I'm not sure if I ever told her. But anyway, so on this occasion where I set the alarm clock for Martha, Joyce says to me, Eric, have you started? And I said, what? And she says, have you started? And I said, what? And she says, have you stopped the clock? And I said, you mean have I set it? Yes, I did. And she says, well, you always tell me about my English. You know, so I was trying to use proper English. And well, anyway, you know, I just thought that was kind of an interesting story, but because it kind of highlights how somebody can actually be trying to do what they know I want, or what they know you want, you know, and they can actually exercise a little overkill and overcompensate, you know. And so Joyce actually overcompensated by saying, "Have you sought it?" And instead of "Have you said it?" You know, she thought she was doing the right thing, but anyway, I thought that was kind of a cute moment. She's been gone now for 27 years, but and I was 25 when she passed away. She was just shy of her 34th birthday. She had me by 8.5 years, like I said earlier, even though she was much smaller, 5'2", give or take 100 pounds. Uh, and obviously, I do still think about her. And I should also say that she was the love of my life, and that in the 27 years since she left this earth, I have not found anyone else uh, with whom I've had a comparable relationship. But anyway, I didn't mean for this to be a really long video. So I'm going to close out real soon, but let me also say that I'm glad to have found a fellow Black American woman who has similar concerns to me when it comes to anti-intellectual Black people who uh, who can't speak proper English. All right, so let me leave it there. And with this being my first not Facebook, but YouTube live video, let me now figure out how to stop this thing because I don't see the button that does it. Let me see. Uh, Darn it, that's not the right button. Um, what do I do? Ah, ah, can't figure this thing out. Should have done a test run. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's it. Share. Let me see. Copy link. And it's still going. Ah. Let me see if this stops it. Okay. Darn it. Can't figure out how to stop this shit. Mm. Mm. Okay. Ah. What do I do? Ah. Darn it. Should have done a test run. Should have done a test run. Damn it, man. Ugh. Okay. You do. Ah. Damn it. I've never seen this shit before. There's no turn off button on this thing. Who the fuck put this shit together? Ah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, until I figure out how to turn this thing off. Damn it. Let's see. Mm. Okay. Well, I hope I don't lose this. Okay. I think I found the answer.